Today we will see how we can build any application we want using GitHub Copilot in agentic mode, and we will also be using Cline. So these are two free tools that you can use right now inside Visual Studio to write code. First of all, you have to get like this development type of Visual Studio Code, which is called Visual Studio Code Insiders. Link will be down below in the description. You want to spin it up, you want to sign in on your GitHub to get the Copilot access, and then you want to come over here and install this application, which is Cline. After you do that, this icon will open up over here, and also here is the icon for Copilot. You click it, it opens this chat. For Cline, what you want to do is you want to select API provider being VS Code LM API, and for the language model you want to use Claude Sonnet because this is what works best in most cases. So let's try it out. Here I'm going to select Claude 3.5 Sonnet and I will tell it to do something very ambitious. I don't know if we will be able to make it work, but we're going to give it a try. So what I will try to implement in today's video is I'm going to try and create a Photoshop alternative. Let's get started. Let me write the prompt and I will get back to you in a second. Let me show you the prompt. It's actually insane. So what we will try to do is create a front-end application that looks like Photoshop. We can add buttons and images into a canvas. We will have buttons for text and image respectively. The canvas will be drag and drop and allows these actions. We want each element to be resized, deleted, moved on the canvas. We want a sidebar that will show the current layers and the buttons to add image and text. We want to be able to change the text font color and size through the side menu. The side menu should be able to have a delete button for each layer. The elements in the canvas will be able to be resized using these specific actions, and we also want a small delete button after clicking the element in the canvas as well. We will be using Next.js 14, Tailwind for styling, and TypeScript. We can also use external libraries for the drag and drop or whatever. The styling should be black for the sidebar, white for the canvas, so we have a little bit of contrast and good styling. We also want to get detailed instructions how to set up the project, go step by step into create the JS components. Make sure that you do it as reusable as possible and use a specific style in the TS file to have consistency over components. Click the button and it will start running. So let's see what it can do. This is a very ambitious project. This is a very ambitious prompt. I'm really not expecting it to be amazing. I'm quite scared of what the result will be. So we want to create like a workspace. This is the parent folder that we will be using. All right. So it's creating the files and the workspace. And like you can see that this is a huge project, but I really like the breakdown it has done into the components and the application. It has all the required files and it is able to create the files on its own. So this is amazing. This is a Photoshop clone, as you can see over here. So it's very exciting how it's starting out. Again, we're using Claude Sonnet. Maybe for this task, maybe a reasoning model like O3 Mini or O1 Preview would be better, but we're going to use Claude because Claude is what is usually used with these tools. Sure, here's a proposed directory. Okay, now I'm going to tell it, okay, start implementing the functionalities. So I wanted to start implementing the actual functionalities. It gave us like the structure, it gave us the files that it will need. It's starting out, it says first create an Next.js project. So we want to create like this project over here. We want to npm install these kind of utilities and dependencies. Now that's going to be a problem because it gave us the structure, but it did not actually like run the installation things. So I'm going to start by opening up the terminal. Again, this is the part of me that has the coding experience. So create next up Photoshop clone. We have to name it a little bit different. So we're going to go with Photoshop clone 2 and we want to install these specific things. And I'm going to say no, yes, yes, no, installs everything it needs. So we're going to name it Photoshop clone 2 because that's how we are going to differentiate between these two files. So that's the first thing that we have to do. Then we have to install all of these dependencies and then we will have to start structuring the project. So let's check out how it can work. And I also want to use Cline at the same time to test it out for the first time ever. I have not ever used Klein ever before. This is like a live tutorial, learn and do. So that's kind of exciting, in all honesty. Here it has Copilot edits as well, and here you can select agent mode. Like, this could be very amazing, in all honesty. So here we have like the chat, but if you click this button, you have the Copilot edits, and this is like the agent mode. This is like super powerful, or that's what we expect it to be. I'm not going to be using this Photoshop clone functionality over here, because you can see it really has not implemented pretty much anything worthy or valuable. So I don't want to waste any time with these things. I'm just going to go and delete this. So we're going to skip that. This is like what you have to do. You've got to be iterating. So we want to CD into the Photoshop. Now I'm going to go with Copilot edits. I'm going to add this application. So I'm going to tell it to add the app application folder. Let's not do that. So I'm going to tell it exactly what I want it to make. So I'm going to use agent mode, and I'm going to use Claude Sonnet 3.5 Sonnet. Let's see what it does. Agent is able to actually create files and populate them. And it also probably should act even better than just the simple chat. And this is like something very unique that you want to be trying out. So here you can like accept this thing over here. So I'm going to accept that. So first, let's create shared styles and types. So I think this is a good start. This is like the styles TSX. So we can also accept this, and already it feels like it's going okay. I really like how it organizes everything. Background black, text white. That's exactly what we want. The next thing is implementing is the root page.tsx. Okay, so it's going, I think, top down in this case. And you can see it's generating. It takes time, but still, I think it's quite fine. And let's accept that. On the page TSX, here you can see the add layer component, which is a canvas element. All right, I really like this. ID, text, easy text. If it's text, then you have content. You also got positioning. You have width. It seems like very good code, in all honesty. I don't know about this. Seems okay. A little bit more complicated than I would like, but already it seems like it's taking shape. Here is like the sidebar generated. So this is like the sidebar. Seems fine. So let's accept that. Here is like the canvas, and it uses the React resizable. All right, so let's accept that. Again, we are going to be having some issues, probably. That's at least my expectation. It continues to generate code. It's insane how big the context window is at this point. That's exciting. That's exciting. Checked for errors. Run command that says, okay, so click continue, and it will be able to run the command on our terminal, which is quite unexpected. So file PS cannot be loaded. So I'm going to run the command on my terminal CMD, because right now it selected PowerShell. So that's probably the only problem it had. Okay, so done. And okay, that seems quite cool. That seems quite cool, in all honesty. So let's see what the result is. Let's see, where is the error? So the error is over here. It did not close the return. So I'm going to close it manually. And I think we also have to close like the canvas, I think. So that's it. Very small mistake. Nothing insane. It has the interface. Okay. Here it's exactly the same error with the sidebar. Maybe that's a mistake of mine while I was trying to accept the changes. And here is the components. So for some reason, it cannot see the components. So fix using Copilot, and here it gives us exactly the difference. This is not correct, but whatever, it works. So I'm going to try and, spin this up, see if it runs. So npm run dev, that's what we run to run this command window. And yeah, let's give this a try. I'm not expecting it to work at all. Like, I have zero expectations of the result, and I don't think it's completed, but hopefully it compiles at least. Okay, so it has like this sidebar, add text, error. So boom, it already crashed. So let's put this error over here, unhandled runtime error. So I'm getting this error. Try and fix it. It probably have skipped quite a lot of parts. And again, as I've told you, this is a very ambitious project. It's not easy to do. It's not easy to make. But already it seems like it gave us a very good structure. So I'm not disappointed at all with the first result. And I also like that it completely was able to do these things automatically, plus also probably load the exact style that I wanted to load. So let's check it out. I can see your JSON package using React Node.js unreleased, accept, done. All right, I don't think this is going to make a difference. In all honesty, I think this is completely wrong. Okay, so the buttons, the add image and add text buttons lead to an error. Okay, so let's tell it that. Let's see if it can actually, with so silly prompts, if it can find the error and fix it. That would be interesting to see, but as you know, I used Cursor in the previous video, which is like 1 hour and 15 minutes. This was the most insane video I ever done. It's absolutely amazing. Like, it's groundbreaking stuff, in all honesty. I've never seen anything like what Cursor did for us. So it's trying to find the code in our database. It's trying to fix everything. And let's see. So it's doing checks. It says everything is fine. I don't think everything is fine, my friend. There's some kind of problem, in all honesty. I don't know what the problem is actually. I have never seen like this error ever before. So it's checking for errors. It finds no error, which is interesting. So it's checking all of the files for errors, seeing it has the correct paths. All right, that's interesting. In all honesty, everything seems quite fine. So document create element, that's probably like one of the problems and one of the errors. So I don't like this type of code being implemented. Like, why do that? So this is the draggable, which is added by React. Please refactor this code, make it use React style of coding and adding new fields. Okay, so we're going to start refactoring its separate file because what it does right now, I don't like it, in all honesty. I don't think this is very React style of code. I think it's quite poop actually. And let's see. I'm not very excited about the result. I think it could have done a lot better job. I was able to spin this thing up with the simple GitHub Copilot on Cursor. Actually, I spin this up on Cursor and Cursor was able to create like the canvas, make anything work. So GitHub Copilot, it's cool, but I don't think it's still working as it should be working. Okay, so it's changing a lot of things. Revisiting the code, implementing changes. So that's interesting. It changed quite a lot of things. Let's go to the page TSX. It has a lot of things over here. Const new element, and this const new layer is added to the layers, and the new element is added with the ID. And here you pass the layers on the sidebar and on the canvas. So it serves. What it does, it serves the information. Okay, here is the sidebar. So when you click on add layer, you should probably have a better behavior or something working. So use proper event handling with TypeScript types, improve component organization, extract reusable components, use React hooks effectively. So that's what it did. I know it's still generating code, looks good with no errors, but we can improve it further by extracting the canvas element into a separate component, using more modern React patterns like custom hooks, adding proper handling for file input, improving error handling. Okay, so that's interesting. It's trying to improve the canvas code even more. I'm kind of scared of what the result will be after doing all of these things. So like this is the main canvas, and this is like the canvas element, and it broke up everything into multiple components. Okay, so it looks good. It's probably not going to work, in all honesty. I really don't believe it's going to work. Okay, so when I click add image, it's not working. So let me open this terminal up. Actually copy and paste all of these error over here, and I'm going to go into a separate window. I get this error every time I click a button like image or text, and I'm going to give it enough context. So I'm going to add all of the files here so it can get access to all of the information available, and it can go and work and fix like everything, because that's what we want to do. Page.tsx, have we added it? Yes. Not a lot of components really, so yeah, do your magic, GitHub Copilot, request ID, internal server error. So yeah, we have to like do this error thing again. All right, let's give this a try. It does not allow us to do this. Okay, so let's put like this smaller prompt. Maybe it goes out of context. Maybe, I don't know. So let's see if it can work out the error. Otherwise, we're going to use a different model, and I should also use Klein finally. So yeah, there is some kind of error. Maybe that's due to Cloud Point Sonnet. Let's try this. Okay, so enable. Yeah, it does not allow me to do anything at this point. I cannot run anything. So let me check out Klein. Maybe Klein will be able to do this for us. So this is act, and let's check out the result. Wants to access model provided by GitHub Copilot, click the allow button, internal server error. So something is going wrong. Maybe GitHub Copilot went down. Let's open up a new chat window. So every time I click add text or image, the page crashes with, if it can actually give us a response right now. Okay, so the error consists is being used in draggable core component, but no longer available in React. Okay, so it's using some kind of deprecated action that no longer works. That's interesting. So it has like to update some things. This is like the draggable core. Okay, so it's already shaping up pretty bad, in all honesty. We had a crash, we have some kind of error that is not able to be handled right now. It's trying to generate a response. We will give this one more try, like I'm going to let it run, and let's see what it will come up with. But in all honesty, right now, I think Cursor, at least up to now, is miles ahead. Again, this is experimental, so it may be improved in the future, but right now, I would go with Cursor, in all honesty. If you see the previous video, you will understand how amazing that experience was. So it's still generating. Yeah, that's not going well. No, we're waiting too much. We're waiting too much time. I don't even know if it's running anymore. I don't know. Is it even generating? I don't know. That's insane. Is that even an error from React Draggable? Let's add more context. Yeah, Sonnet fails. Is this failing as well? Okay, so it's npm background to fix this. I will try to update Draggable. All right, apply in editor. Then I will run npm install. Okay, so let me try this. So it says to update the React Draggable. That may make sense, but very disappointing. Okay, so lots of deprecated things. This is pure JavaScript. Like, this is what happens with this kind of tools and JavaScript. It happens all the time. Like, it's so disappointing to see this kind of thing. And yeah, we're a little bit far off from replacing programmers. All right, so let's npm run dev, and that's nice. It's not even working anymore. So let's give this error over here. Let's see if it can solve it. Okay, so it wants me to do this MV. Yeah, I don't know. I think this completely failed the test. So GitHub Copilot is probably a little bit far off for these kind of very heavy applications right now.